What's up, people? It's your boy Levelhead back with another podcast. That's right, two podcasts in 1 week. We doing it. We trying to do it right over here. But anyway, this is a special one because this is a guy that I've been trying to pull this way for a minute now. We've been having technical difficulties, missing each other, different time zones and everything. But we got him, John. John, we got him on. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jedi Knight NY. It's a pleasure to be on the podcast, guys. Leveled Head, we've known each other for a few years now. We've never really gotten to get together and do a podcast.
Nah.
This is actually my first time ever doing a podcast. So part of the difficulty last weekend was actually trying to get this Google Hangouts together, and that was a bit of a spectacle last week. But I'm definitely glad to be here, guys.
Yeah, man. You know what, man? You was one of the ones I first followed when I first jumped on this YouTube thing. Actually, your channel was one of my favorites, and me and you kind of had the same format by putting the gamepad in the actually just shooting our gamepads. You know what I'm saying? We kind of made that. I didn't know you was doing it, but we both was doing it, and it kind of became our staple of how we shot videos. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, I always enjoyed your content and enjoyed your take, your sensibleness about it. You know, your down to earth approach to gaming. So it's always been something I wanted to do. But when you took your hiatus and you like we talked behind the scenes, your transition and where you at today, and you back. The first thing I was like, man, when I found out you's back, I was like, all right, I got to shoot him an invite to the podcast, see what he say, and then you hear it. So let's get it in, man. John, you got anything you want to say? Because I know you on sleep, deprivedness. So go ahead, man.
No, I'm cool. Let's do this.
Okay, so since this Jedi Knight's first time on the Live and Level Gamers podcast, man, go ahead and break down your name. I'm pretty sure people can pick it up just from your photo or your picture right on here. But break down the Jedi Knight NY. Break that down.
All right. Well, Jedi Knight. The first part is Jet I, and that's a play on words there. I'm a New York Jets fan, and Jedi from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Knight is actually my old high school, not alma mater.
Mascot.
Mascot. Thank you.
Okay.
I went to Mount Vernon High School in New York, and we were the Mount Vernon Knights. I played football there, and so I got Jedi Knight NY. I'm originally from New York. I was born in the Bronx, and I was there all that time when I originally had my channel. When me and you got together, I think this was way back in like 2010 or something like that.
2012.
Yeah. I was living in New York at the time. And when I took my hiatus, I was actually in the middle of my moving overseas.
Okay. So you played football. See, we all football heads over here, so we can definitely have them conversations. But you got two people that's on the same side because we both Denver fans.
Okay.
But high school,
well, yeah, I went to
man.
Super Bowl, so it was all good.
I was a football player and track star. But what position in football did you play?
I played defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle. Oh, okay, you a big boy then. You got some size and girth on you.
Yeah, I was a little agile with it.
Okay. My boy K-Bun was a football player too. He played for, actually, we became friends at college when he was playing at the college we was going to. I think he was corner or linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. But I played strong safety and wing back, so that kind of gives you an idea of how I was built. And Shaw, let them know what you played, man. Tell them about that skill set you had, man.
Yeah, I played center guard and nose guard.
Okay.
All right.
So we got some football here, so we can always come on here and talk games, especially football season. So anyway, but let's get it in, man. We don't want to be here too long, cause we all got different time things going on. I just got home from, serving my faith, and then John just got home and he tried to go to sleep, and Jedi Knight trying to go. He right before bedtime. So we trying to do this for you guys, but how we typically do it is we start off by talking about what we've been gaming on. So since Shaw, you have you been gaming on anything since last Thursday?
No, I got the new PC, so I just been playing some Skyrim, testing that out. I totally forgot all the controls to it, so I'm trying to learn that again.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm been playing Insurgency, which is a shooter, a realistic shooter on the PC.
Okay.
And then I tried to jump back in Counter Strike, and man, I'm a noob in that. That's it ain't gonna happen in that one. So
Yeah.
All right, Jedi, man, let us know what you've been gaming on, man.
All right. I've been gaming on Borderlands. Um, One of my previous videos I had discussed about buying some components to build up a computer rig, which I actually got the computer case yesterday after Amazon's mess up, but they salvaged it, and it took about 2 hours to finally build the rig, and took all day yesterday just installing everything, and I just continued with Borderlands. I jumped in a little bit on the original Tomb Raider for the Xbox 360. That was out on the Xbox 360. I have it for the PC, and the first thing that I can honestly say is I can understand how people are in love with graphics, because being primarily a Nintendo console player, outside of just their general graphics, just the sharpness, it is phenomenal. And the last game I would say is Modern Warfare 3. I tried to get on and start with the keyboard and mouse, but I don't think that's gonna work, fellas. I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, they say that is an adjustment trying to go from a controller or traditional controller to keyboard and mouse. But they say once you master it, man, when you play first-person shooters, you don't want to go back.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you can really get it in when you know how to get around the keyboard and mouse.
man, my
It's
left hand
just,
don't work that right.
yeah, I can't do it.
I'll be trying, but my left hand don't want to work.
How,
It
how,
took me.
how does
Well,
it work? Like, I'm trying to understand, like, do you, okay, you use the mouse to aim and stuff, right?
yeah.
It's like when you're using your controller, you're just
Okay.
using your thumbs and your fingers.
So what buttons are you pushing on the keyboard?
Keyboard.
The
You.
WASD is to move forward, left, and right. Then you got, I think, shift and control, or do different, like crouch and run.
Heck no,
Space
I couldn't do
space bar is to jump.
Yeah, and
R is to reload.
it took me a minute to figure out how to run. It was actually, I think it was either the shift button or the caps button. But I was playing Modern Warfare 3 and I didn't know how to run, and it took me no lie for about an hour, man. And it's not for me. I need a controller.
And then you got your right hand with the mouse, and see that's like precision. Like it's different from the controller. Like it's like where you hit is where you hit, and it's like instant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So especially if you're not used to it and you get on there and you start trying to do stuff, you getting sniped.
So let me ask you this then, because I heard this comparison. We just shooting the breeze before we hit up, because we only doing one topic, and we won't be on here super long. We're gonna hit this topic because I think it's a good one. We can get a chance to tackle it in the last podcast, and I knew we was coming on with Jet, so I saved it for this one. But I heard a lot of people compare the Wiimote and Nunchuck, or Wiimote and Nunchuck, are the move controllers to the precision of keyboard and mouse. Is that true, or no?
I would say halfway. When it
Okay.
comes to the mouse aspect, I can see where they get the motion control.
Okay.
I think where Nintendo really took it beyond is to allow you, instead of using the WASD buttons to move,
Mm-hmm.
it gave you the nunchuck part, to where you have an analog stick, to where it's natural for your thumb to actually do the movement, while having the motion control have you gravitate with your eyes where you're actually looking on screen.
Okay.
What I would say is it's pretty much an extreme learning curve, at least from my perspective, on the keyboard and mouse. When I first got my Wii and got Modern Warfare Reflex, that's when I started playing COD. It felt natural. I would say in about 15 minutes, I was really good. And then once I got like the sights on the gun, it was a wrap. I fell in love instantly.
Okay. John, what's your take?
If you get like you said with the left hand with that thing that made it a whole lot easier too. That's just using that part too. But if you can find a position to where you can rest your right arm and
Okay.
still move your wrist and stuff, then yeah, it can get pretty crazy with that right there. You can get pretty accurate. I used to go hard on that Black Ops 2.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard many arguments about how great the Wii Mote Nunchuck was for first person shooters, and I'm not gonna lie. At that time, and still to this day, I'm not a real FPS type of gamer. Or a guy. I don't really care. But I got this Call of Duty or this COD what is it? COD Black Ops 3 or Call of Duty, however you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually enjoy the single player, and I don't get dizzy and stuff. But like John said and K-Bum said, and I heard many others say, no, that's because it's controlled. Get online where you got all type of chaos coming at you from different directions. You'll get dizzy real quick. So, but I'm curious because we know that Nintendo them might be stepping away from the Wiimote and all that, and that to me was one of the best innovations in gaming in a long time. So
I agree.
I wish it don't fit, and I say this don't fit in every scenario, but for the FPS, it was perfect from what I'm hearing. So I know Metroid Prime it was good, and that's a first SPS adventure type game. But anyway, what have I been gaming on lately? Actually, since Thursday, I haven't played anything. So I've been gaming on this Lord of the Rings. I've been taking my aunt through the trilogy of the Lord of the Rings because she thought the Hobbit was better. I was like, no, you need to sit down and learn. So, so we've been doing that for the last day or so. So, we supposed to be finishing that up tonight. So hopefully,
So actually, she hasn't seen the Lord of the
no, she
Rings?
hasn't seen the Lord of the Rings,
Oh,
and
yeah,
she's bragging about the Hobbit. I'm like, the Hobbit is straight. Lord of the Rings is where it's at.
Yeah, I see people gonna think that because the Hobbit is more newer. It's newer as far as movies it goes. But you know what I'm saying? I think if they know the story, it'd be different. But I don't know. I like the visuals in the Hobbit better now because but of course it's been years since they made the Lord of the Rings though.
Now, but this is the crazy thing, and I know we wasn't supposed to. If you get the remastered or the HD versions of the Lord of the Rings, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they match. I think the visuals in the Lord of the Rings actually.
Did you get the high frame rate version?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about
I can't do that, man.
Well,
The frame rates.
Okay, say that again. Did I get the high frame version of which?
Right. We're talking about where you know how when you look at your 4K TV and then the little demo of the 4K TV. It looked like that. The movie looked like that.
The Hobbit.
Yeah, the Hobbit. Like that's why when they came out, they had the two different versions. They had the regular version, the 3D version. Well, they had three different versions. They had the regular version, the 3D version, and then they had the high frame rate version.
I ain't seen the high frame rate.
And I'm talking about, man, it look real. Like it's like real.
And I just bought a 4K TV, man. I meant to tell you that, but I'll tell you that off air. I don't want cats. Anyway, that's an off air discussion. but yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and pick it up. I didn't know it was a 3 version. I knew it was a 3D.
I don't know. I don't know if it came out on DVD like that. I know it was in the theater like that. And that's what I went to go see, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, they have it out on I think it's Blu-ray. And the thing about that third version with the frame rates is it's not like a 60 frame per second movie. The director picked an odd frame rate. I think it was like 48 frames per second or something. So it was some complaints. Many moviegoers who seen it in the theaters, there were some people who said they really enjoyed it, and then there were others that said that it was really a strain on the eyes. When I seen it my eyes could not really adjust to where I could actually pay attention throughout the entire movie. Okay. I could never watch it. The 48 frames per second, it's pretty wild. I
saw it at the theater, and it was like I didn't know why I was feeling this way, but it was kind of disorientating a little bit. I didn't care for it. It had like a 3D-ish effect, but it wasn't in 3 because I didn't watch the 3D version. But it had like a weirdness to it, how it was going. I didn't care for it. But I don't know how to explain it. But
yeah, you probably still a frame rate person. I don't know. I love this stuff.
Well,
Because I've been looking at that like I seen. As a matter of fact, I seen a Lord of the Rings version like that. Because I was at CES.
okay.
I was at CES and I'm sitting there and I'm going through the little things. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't really feel like looking at TV because I can't afford none of this stuff no way. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I didn't really want to go through the TV, so I was trying to rush through the TV section. Then all of a sudden, something caught my eye. I was like, hold on, that's Lord of the Rings. I was like, hold on. I said, I don't remember Lord of the Rings looking like that. So I stopped and started looking. I was like, man, this look real. And then they had Transformers over there too. I started looking at Transformers look real. I was like, man, hold on.
Yeah, I do agree with that. With the 48 frames per second, it did like strain my eyes a bit. But one thing that you can catch, it wasn't a 3D effect, but it kind of made it look like it, like a 2.5D, if you
Yeah,
will.
there you go.
Like it popped a little bit.
Right,
It
they
did
stood
pop a
out
little
from the background.
Exactly.
Right. Well, that whole thing, and we get into our topic, but I remember the transition to actually 1080p and the movies, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of wondering how 4K gonna be, because when actually the movie theaters catch up with it, because that transition to 1080p made movies not look like movies anymore. It didn't look cinematic. It looked like I was watching a home camera. Like I remember
Yeah.
watching Spider-Man, I think it was Spider-Man 2, and you can literally see the strings on them. That's how that's how not ready the film the industry wasn't ready for the technology, or so hadn't caught up to the technology yet, I
True.
guess. So I don't know, man. I haven't. I think I seen what y'all talking about. I didn't know that's what I was seeing. I didn't care for it. But as far as just the Lord of the Rings versus the Hobbit, outside of visuals, I think the places that they went in Lord of the Rings and the settings of the scenes were better. Maybe not visually more stunning, but just better and more fantasy creating than I would say the Hobbit. And I thought the Hobbit was too much CGI.
I kind of because I don't get me wrong, 'cause Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie of all time. The whole trilogy is my favorite movie of all time. But I have to give it up to the Hobbit, because like the Hobbit, they took the chance to, even though it wasn't in the original Hobbit like that, if you read the books or read or watch the cartoons, but they actually explained a whole lot of stuff that they left out in the Lord of the Rings story.
Yeah, you're right on that.
You know what I'm saying? So that actually when I started looking at that, that kind of made it more enjoyable, because I was like, oh, that's why that's okay, that's dope.
Okay. Well, the crazy thing is when watching my aunt see my whole family there, and watching my aunt watch the Lord of the Rings after watching The Hobbit, she's like, I like this because I now understand why this and why that, and so it's pretty cool. But yeah, we going through that, and so I ain't really been playing no games. But anyway, I just bought a new entertainment system for my upstairs, so I've been putting that together and tanking with that all weekend. So anyway, let's get it in, man. You ready, Mike? You ready, Shaw?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so now, this took place, I want to say, at least 3 weeks ago, 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And at the time, we hadn't done a podcast, and then last week we didn't get a chance to get to this topic. But knowing who I was gonna have on and loving both of these guys' opinions and takes on stuff, I thought we could talk about this one and pretty much just let this be our topic of conversation and where it go. But the whole situation surrounding Quantum Break not being just an exclusive to the Xbox One, but going to Windows 10, over to Windows 10 as well. And the uproar or cries that came out of not all, I can't blame all Microsoft fans, but some Microsoft fans, even so far to seeing Phil Spencer a tweet saying that because of this decision or this announcement, he felt like he was lied to, and because that he's taking he's ending his reserved copy,
His pre-order, yeah.
his pre-order and all that, and he's not buying the game. and which this was Crapgamer. He went viral, which is a part of. Yeah, I'm pretty sure some of y'all would know who he is. Anyway, so he went viral real quick. He got famous real quick, but not for the right reasons. So Phil Spencer replied with a simple response with, "You're not going to play a game that you want to play because other people can play it." And it was like, it ain't no comeback from that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no response that was going to top that response. But I want to talk about that, what y'all thought about it, and then transition into, you know, is our fandom, when it's in that type of use that type of way or express that type of way, going above the call, you know, just a little bit into kind of a crazy place. So let's first start off by just talking about what you think about Quantum Break not remaining exclusive, or it's still exclusive in my opinion, but going to Windows 10. I'll start with Jedi Knight.
All right. I don't have a problem with it. In terms of consoles, the game is an exclusive to the Xbox One. In terms of PC, it's exclusive to Microsoft. So I don't really see the problem there. If they want to, initiate PC gaming and incorporate that, and they think that Quantum Break would be a great opportunity to implement some sort of online PC service for Microsoft, sort of like Steam, I don't see what the problem is. I would assume that in the long run, it would help out both PC gamers and Xbox One fans in terms of having opportunity for Microsoft to, generate funds to then funnel that money into future, games. Maybe it's me, but I'm more of a casual gamer. If I can get a game that's good, I don't really care what other platform it's on.
Right. That's too simple, man. It can't be that way. Go ahead.
But yeah. In regards to what Crapgamer had, I would assume tweeted or, sent out to Microsoft, I'm just recently hearing about this, and I think the reply that he got was kind of justified. If you think the game is going to be great and you're not going to play it just because people on a different platform can play the game, then what does that really mean? It's hard because now what has occurred is people are no longer fans of gaming per se. What they are, they're fans of companies like clicks. Everybody is repping a particular click, if you will. It's kind of like one of the videos that you did not too long ago, Leveled Head, and we're so busy taking sides that we're really missing out on the point of all this, which is to get good games and play good games. And if people on the PC can do that, then what's the problem?
I agree. All right, Shaw, you gonna throw yours in, then we.
All right, so me being a multi-console owner and also PC, it don't mean nothing to me. Also, me being a person that I don't strictly buy my consoles on exclusives, it don't matter to me either. His response was stupid on his part, but I understand his anger. But just to not play it is not doing yourself any favors. You still adding to the problem versus you solving the problem. The problem being is, and this is what a lot of Xbox people were worried about, is that Microsoft is not giving an incentive for people to come buy the Xbox.
Okay.
Because if you have a PC already, or a gaming PC, why would you go buy the Xbox if you can get all those same games on the PC? You just killed your whole reason to get an Xbox. Like, if I can, like, Halo's coming to the Xbox. I mean, Halo's coming to PC. Gears might be coming to PC. Quantum Break is coming to PC. Tomb Raider came to PC. Everything that makes almost every exclusive that Xbox had is coming to PC. So for those people, because I'm not that type of gamer, but there are those type of gamers because with different interactions through different people's videos that they buy certain consoles just because of exclusives.
Mm.
So for those gamers that buy those consoles for exclusives, you kind of killed your sales on one hand for that console because you brought it on PC. Microsoft's standpoint, I understand Microsoft's standpoint because Microsoft's standpoint is like, well, if I just put it on Xbox, I might not get that many sales. If I put it on both, I can increase my sales in both.
Right, it's money for them.
Yeah,
It's a smart business move, in my opinion.
yeah, it's smart on their end, but it's also a hindrance on their end too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why the Xbox fans and stuff are worried, is because there's also been this long-standing rumor that that Microsoft is going to turn away from the Xbox.
I actually wanted to comment on that as soon as you finished your part. I didn't want to interrupt. Continue.
And so it's been this long-standing rumor that Microsoft is about to turn away from the Xbox because they've been focusing on PC a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so their fear is that now so for somebody that, let's say somebody has a PC and a PlayStation 4, right? And they might have been waiting for these games to go get an Xbox, right? Well, now you just killed their need to get an Xbox because you're putting it on PC, so now they don't need that. It's a win for Microsoft, but if you're an Xbox only fan or you're just an Xbox fan, it's not a win for you because now you're slowly saying your lead is already, the sales numbers is already low because they're not that much higher than the Wii U.
No, not. They're not.
You know what I'm saying? And so while everybody's bashing on Nintendo, Microsoft is not that far behind. You know what I'm saying? And so they could be with a blink of an eye, they could be in the same predicament.
So let me ask this, and I know he want to ask something, but wouldn't that be assuming that everybody that wanted to play Quantum Break that didn't have an Xbox One has a PC? Ain't that a crazy assumption though? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot.
If this would have been 4 or 5 years ago, that'd be a crazy assumption. But now that PC gaming has gotten so cheap and almost everybody's doing it, and also you have to have a PC to stream, and you have to have a really good PC to stream, and that's what a lot of people are doing. It's not a far-fetched assumption.
Okay, well let me let Jedi jump in and I'll jump back on the topic. But I feel you. I agree. I understand that's the fear from the Xbox mind. Xbox fans are owner mind. So go ahead, Jedi.
All right, I appreciate it. The 2 points that John brought up was it's killing the reason to buy an Xbox One and Microsoft moving away from consoles. I think that's what Microsoft is doing. I think they showed their hand a long time ago. Microsoft is into media. They're into entertainment. They're into providing you Netflix and everything outside of video games. And I'm not sure how legit this is, but has Microsoft even made profit off of the Xbox consoles? Talking about the original, the 360, and the Xbox One. I mean, it's financially, it's consuming to actually manufacture all this and distribute it to people who want it just to give them games and then ultimately not even make a profit or break even. I'm not exactly sure what Microsoft's situation is in that regard, but I did hear that they haven't made money yet on the Xbox. I could be wrong on that. But if Microsoft can find a way to establish a platform like Steam and people can just build a rig, I mean, it's affordable. How many times we've been on YouTube and we've seen video after video of people building rigs that are comparably priced to consoles yet get better performance? How about the flexibility that comes with PCs? And I'm not saying like this is anti-console. I'm just saying that this is what Microsoft has been showing.
Right.
It's not this game that should suddenly be waking people up and saying, hey, what the heck are you doing, Microsoft? You're making me feel like having this Xbox One is pointless. If you've been looking at their moves in that regard, they've shown you a long time ago that maybe that wasn't the best move. So I feel like if you purchased your Xbox One, the purpose was to enjoy the games that come out with it, and the game is coming for the Xbox One. So I don't understand what the issue is. I really don't.
I think if you already own it, if you already own the Xbox One, then you shouldn't have an issue. Your issue should, I mean, I understand your fears, but that shouldn't stop you from playing the game.
Right.
It shouldn't stop you from playing the game at all. But for somebody, let's say, like, there's a lot of people that were thinking about getting Xboxes for, saying, because they wanted to get another console or whatever. And if you already have a PC, yeah, I would, like, if I didn't have an Xbox right now, I wouldn't get it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't get it. I just flat out wouldn't get it because I don't have to get it now. It's nothing that, I mean, other than me, the fact that I want to have all the consoles, other than that fact, there would be no reason for me to get it because I have a PC and I have a PlayStation and I have a Nintendo. So there's nothing on the Xbox is going to give me that I can't get.
And I think that's what the problem is. It seems like it's less about the games and it's more about a popularity contest.
Right.
We've been so, in tune on this console war that we're just rooting for units sold. I mean, if you're able to get it in a different area, then I think that is good for the gamers. Look at when things become exclusive to one area. I'm having a hard time finding a football game because EA has utterly destroyed the football franchise. I understand when it comes to the fandom, but to literally get besides oneself and say, I'm going to remove a pre-order, I would say just enjoy the game. If you're even going to pre-order, that's something that I don't even condone personally, to put my money down and not receive a product when I get, when I put the money down. But generally speaking, if you're actually going to pre-order, enjoy the game.
Right. Let me say this, man. Then we can transition to what you was just talking about. I predicted a while ago on one of the Live and Level podcasts that I saw. I see Microsoft going PC. I think it was when they first started showing a lot of their Windows 10's ideas and what they were trying to do. And then I was watching how Alienware was doing with their systems. I was like, I see this what Microsoft might end up trying to do with the Xbox division, make it like a standalone, easy accessible entry into the PC world for those who ain't ready to make that leap. But with what I do, I can take what I do, and I know a lot of people are slowly entering into, and not necessarily for gaming reasons, but needing a powerful PC. I do music, so I need a powerful PC or a Mac or something so that I can run my Pro Tools. I do a lot of editing as far as Photoshop and all that, and you need powerful PCs to really make this stuff work and transition and process quick and fast. And when you ain't sitting here like me with my computer waiting for a whole day for something to process. So the stronger the PC, the easier it is to exist and operate in today's time. So most people are buying stronger PCs. So I can understand, like what Shaw was saying, the trepidation or the fear that an Xbox One owner will have if they harbor this connection with the system, like they they can't buy anything else. I can understand that concern because the more places you put the game, the less incentive there is to buy an Xbox One. I understand that, but like you were saying, let's get into it. Does that justify such levels of fandom that Crapgamer? And I think he didn't think he was gonna get no reply. That's what I don't think he thought it was going to go viral. But I think this should be an example for many people who hold this type of fandom to look at. That could have been anybody. It just happened to be him, and he was an example for many to see. But go ahead. Let's let John go and start with that.
Before we get into that, I just want to think. I thought about something, and it's like, if what I think they're doing, which is a possibility, then in the long run, it wouldn't hurt either.
Mm.
But It just depends on if they're doing this. The Xbox, they could be turning the Xbox into their version of a Steam machine.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
I
what I'm
think that's
saying? And
exactly
so,
where they're going.
now if they can make it to where the PC and the Xbox players can unify and play together, they've done it before with other games, but it just hasn't been. Those games just weren't that successful.
Mm.
There was a couple of shooters that they did like that, but these games just weren't that successful. Now, if they do it like that and transition it to where the Xbox interface and PC and you can cross game and stuff like that, I can see it being successful, and I can see it where it wouldn't hurt. Because those people that just want a standard console to sit in their living room, there you go, and you can still do your computer stuff and like that. I can see them. Excuse me. I see them doing that when they do the Windows 10 streaming or the stream your Xbox you can stream your PC to the Xbox, which I don't know why you want to do that, but then you can stream your Xbox to your PC. I mean, I guess there's purposes for that, whatever.
Well,
But
I heard that, and I don't know who I was listening to, but I heard this several times that Xbox is working out a way to get Steam actually on the Xbox One to where you can buy Steam games.
now I'll be the first to say this. If they do that, they might actually come back.
And that's what I'm hearing. That's the rumor. So, like Knight was saying, and something I said a while ago, and I think pretty much if you ain't stuck under a rock, you can kind of see it. If what we are seeing and what seemingly is being suggested by Microsoft see more money with how Alienware, like Microsoft has the name, the association, and so it'd be easier for them to do what Alienware is doing with the Xbox One, where people can kind of build it the way they want to the spec levels they want. So if you want just the Xbox bare bone like what we got right now, you can get that. Or if you want something a little bit more powerful that can handle a little bit more, you can get that. But you don't have to worry about like what Jedi just did, building his rig from ground up on his own. You can go in and have it made to what your spec tastes, and it's still an Xbox One, but it ain't in the sense of what we know about Xbox now. I see them doing that, and in the future, they pretty much just kill, what Alienware is doing. I think they have the capabilities of making that actually mainstream. So that's what I see them doing. But who want to jump in on that and say their thoughts?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jedi.
I'll speak on that. I think it would be a great idea. My speculation on the Nintendo NX is kind of similar to that. I think we're going to get into a space where you're able to have. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. My computer. I thought it went to sleep for a second. I think you're going to be able to scale games on consoles. I think you'll be able to invest a particular amount of money into your consoles if you want like a much more stronger console. And with the games being scalable, you'll have like the bare bone version, so all the games are compatible with that bare bone version. But if you have anything stronger than that version, you're able to scale the games pretty much like what PCs do. And going back to what John said earlier about Windows and Microsoft and Steam, what I believe what they're trying to do is exactly what he said. We currently have Street Fighter V. You're able to play PlayStation 4 and PC users together online. You can do the same thing with PCs and the Xbox One. I mean, they should be able to. Both, the PC, the interface is Windows for the most part, and the Xbox One is a Microsoft console. It would be dumb of Microsoft not to take advantage of the situation. And then to be able to have a space like a Steam, and kind of use that inspiration based on what Steam is doing to kind of recreate a service for your Windows that can be implemented within Windows where everybody has it, whether you're a gamer or not. They can just implement it in Windows. There's really no excuse after that. And then having both the PC community and the console community really integrate online. At the end of the day, it's about dollars, and if it makes sense, they're gonna do it. And the gaming community, or I should say the console community for the Xbox One, they're gonna moan about it now, but they're gonna buy it, and Microsoft knows it. So Like I said, it goes back to square one. Just play the game. If Microsoft is going to do it, you're not going to stop gaming. So it's just defeating the purpose. Unless you go my route and really don't buy the games. Literally, just don't buy it.
Right. Okay. So let's transition to what you had raised. We kind of. So let's just focus in on the fandom aspect and the fandom gone wrong. This level of fandom, I think, is an example of where not to go with your fandom. So crap gamers being upset, we kind of, John kind of alluded to, he can understand why, and what the issue is. But I think Jedi Knight hit on the real reason. What prompted Crap Gamer to say what he said was more so about the actual sales of the console and how it, they're not winning right now. Sony is outpacing them right now. They're kind of looking like, the people they teased hard, Nintendo, and like Jedi, like John said, they're not too far removed from the Wii U sales. So either the PlayStation 4 is just an anomaly, which I think it kind of is, but at the same time, it also is smart advertising. And then, but I think his reason for saying this too, Phil Spencer, was really coming out of, I'm mad because now the Xbox One ain't gonna sell more or catch up with Sony. So with that being said, you was already kind of talking about this, Jedi. Go ahead and share your thoughts on that and how you feel about this type of fandom.
I think it's all perspective. There are some diehards out there. I'm not really a diehard like that. Even when it comes to Nintendo, I prefer Nintendo products, but it's not necessarily because of it is the Nintendo brand, but it's really what is behind the Nintendo brand. It's the quality that you get in the games. That's what I'm more concerned about. If Nintendo was beginning to slack on their quality, if their games were released and they were consistently like Mario Tennis, where it was just a shell of a game,
right?
You wouldn't hear me utter a word about Nintendo, because it's not about Nintendo. It's about what Nintendo can present to me that is quality for my dollars. And there are others who are really fans, and I can respect that. I understand that level of fandom because I love football. You can't tell me anything about the Jets. I don't want to hear it. They haven't won a Super Bowl or been to a Super Bowl since I was born. Yet that's my team.
Right.
So I can respect it. It's just I don't necessarily agree with it, only because I feel like there's options out there for you, and I think that it may be a shortcoming to people who really want to see Microsoft either catch up or outpace the PlayStation 4. But it's better for people who are actually trying to get into gaming, who may have a PC and may just stumble upon this. Or, everybody has their own unique story about how they get into gaming. And whether people like to accept it or not, PC gaming is relevant now.
Mm-hmm.
And people are building their own computers, and granted, I've built my original computer like over a decade ago. I was a computer science major in college, and I just stopped, like 11, 12 years ago. But there's 12-year-olds today that are just building computers because of things like Steam. And Microsoft understands that there's an audience. And if you want to stagnate the industry, that's going to be a recipe for disaster. Don't stagnate the market. Kind of see where the benefits of that could come from.
Okay.
And that's my take on it.
Okay. All right, John.
All right, so like I was saying earlier, like I can understand his frustration, but to take it to that extreme, you're doing the same thing that you were frustrated about. Because you not buying it is hurting the sales too. So,
exactly. Good point.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not solving the problem. You're just adding to the problem in another way. And so you kind of like, and then also you're not hindering them, you're hindering yourself more because you know you really wanted to play it.
Right.
And it's like, so you taking it to that extreme, throwing a temper tantrum, it's like, for what? It's like, it's a different if the game was broken or something like that, but it's just always just come to somebody else. Somebody else can just play it. Like he said, somebody can just play it. I understand the frustrations, but to take it to that far extreme and say, oh, I'm not going to play it now, that's just stupid. You know, it doesn't make any sense, and it's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? You can still buy the game, and which is going to support your system, and still express your frustrations with it. And then somebody might, you know, saying you might be able to do something some other way. But I don't know. I don't know. I just think gamers today, I've been saying that they weird. I don't understand them. They do stupid stuff. They act stupid. I just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're a one console owner, I can understand you being a one console owner, but that doesn't necessarily make you a fanatic or crazy. It's just when you start worrying about what everybody else is doing is what makes you stupid and crazy.
Right.
You know, it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. Like,
but I would say this, man, Jedi raises a good point, and it was a point that I even considered in a video that I made recently. You know, when I was looking at making us versus them. I considered football. I was like, do we see this anywhere else? And football came to, sports came to my thoughts. Like, people have favorite teams, and they rock with their team like no other. And it ain't much you can say about their team that that'll cause them to not like their team. But I thought about this as well. They also overall love the sport, and there's a common mutual respect across the board. Even though you like your team, you might like the Jets, or like me and John, we Broncos fans, but I still can respect Cam Newton and North Carolina, even though I might be a Broncos fan, or I can respect what the NFL does as a whole, even though I rock with this particular team under the NFL umbrella. So it's like, well, we're gamers. We only can like one thing, and that's it. It can't. I like this, but I love it all. That's my. So with Crapgamer doing that, I thought, well, I don't have no issue with them having a problem. But like John said, you want to play the game, and like Phil said, you want to play the game. So you're not going to play a game you want to play strictly because other people can now play it. I didn't see this happen with Street Fighters, you know what I'm saying? And that game is on PC as well. I saw nobody complaining that PC guys can play Street Fighters 5. So I'm not understanding, like me, if something, like say if it was Mario Kart, some kind of way that a PC guy can play Mario Kart, I'm not gonna buy Mario Kart. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna buy it. Because I know what I'm getting from it.
We can play Mario Kart. Don't tell nobody.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I don't think anybody would have said that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying overall that was weird to me. And I don't think this is isolated to an accident. I think you see this type of stuff in all the different fan bases. You'll see these type of statements and stances, and
see, like with the sports analogy, here's the different things about the sports analogy. At the end of the day, it's only 12 games, and it's going to be a winner and a loser. So you can say all you want, but at the end of the day, within them 12, when them 12 games are over with, and you and you get them through, and you through with them playoffs, there's only one winner.
Right.
So you can beat the chest only one team is gonna beat their chest at the end of the year. But when you come with console, it's not you can't. That's what I was trying to say. It's like, how do you establish who wins?
I don't think that it's about who wins though. I think that it's been perpetuated to seem like that. I don't ever remember, though people say that they remember these things. I personally don't remember this. When I was growing up in the 90s and it was Super Nintendo and Genesis, there was no Super Nintendo is better than Genesis or Genesis is better than Super Nintendo. It was, hey, Matthew has a Super Nintendo and two TVs. I have a Genesis. We're all going to Matthew's house so I can set up, the my console to his second TV, and we're just gonna crash at his house for the entire weekend. And people actually enjoyed the games.
Mm.
Now it seems like everything has been so warish. Everything is a battle. It's a level of conflict. And I
See, level. I
did
knew
this.
I wasn't the only one.
I
Oh,
think
no,
there's
no, I was finna say, I'm letting him finish, but I think I think I can explain what it was, and y'all probably see what I saw. But go ahead, Jedi. I don't want to stop you from your
yeah,
point.
no problem. Actually, since I stated that, let me just go a little bit in depth with that before I get on to what you talked about, the PS4, PC, and Street Fighter V. Um, as a person who concentrates mostly on Nintendo, we're like the bastard child. Nobody pays mind to us. And what happens is we end up enjoying a lot of games that a lot of other people don't ever get to experience because all they do is look at graphics, so they instantly say that a game is trash. Yet they've probably never touched a Wii U, probably never touched a Wii. Yet they're talking about games that are either kiddie-ish or trash or so forth. I looked at a video on YouTube um, sometime this past week, and they were talking about open world games and how far we've come with open world games. And it was as if in this video, like the Zenith was like The Witcher 3 and the Skyrims. And I'm looking at this video like, how biased is this? How do you even have a topic like this and you don't even mention Xenoblade Chronicles X? But that's just the nature of the beast. Either you're in the war or you're absolutely irrelevant, and that's what the industry is. But quickly, leveled head, what you talked about with the PS4, PC, and Street Fighter V, I think that what Crapgamer is upset about is not that you have a situation like that with the PS4. I think that Microsoft stated that it was an exclusive, and then later on down the line stated, hey, well, we're going to port this to PC as well. And I think that's what his initial gripe is about.
Yeah, that was, but that's why I brought up Street Fighter V was announced as an exclusive, and then later on, like maybe a few weeks removed, it wasn't right before we found out the date of it. I can understand that they never knew, but if you see what Microsoft been doing for a while, anybody with any common sense saw that this game was probably going to the PC too.
All
But
right,
Street Fighter V, I remember when it was first announced, it was how would you say?
With PlayStation games too. They've been doing that with a lot of PlayStation exclusives.
That's what I'm going to. I was like, with Street Fighter V, I remember when it was first announced as an exclusive to the PlayStation 4, and everybody was like, "Oh man, no." Well, and I remember people even going so far to say this. Well, it's probably gonna be just like Street Fighter 4, and I ain't even worrying about it because Street Fighters haven't improved since whatever. So, but then about maybe 2 weeks later, it was announced that it was gonna be coming to the PC as well. I didn't see no fallout over it. I didn't see the fallout, and maybe it's because it's Street Fighters. Quantum Break is a new IP that looks like, a different type of type of game that attracts a different type of gamer. So maybe the game and the IP itself is the reason why it caused more backlash or fallout over the fact that it's not going to just be on the Xbox One. It's going to be on the PC as well, but I didn't see that fallout over Street Fighter. That's all I was saying.
but wasn't Street Fighter V since the beginning always announced with the PS4 and PC?
I thought it was announced like maybe a few weeks later that it was going to come to the PC.
No,
Okay,
it was
I'm
always
not
the
sure.
PC because that was the PC that remember when they got on stage with that
Maybe it was. Maybe I was in.
that Final Fantasy game supposed to be PS4 PC that one game, the Kickstarter game, that's supposed to be PS4 and PC.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that it was from originally everybody knew that it was coming to the PS4 and PC, and I think that's why there wasn't like backlash to it.
Right.
With this Quantum Break, it seems like it was only an Xbox One exclusive,
Right.
and then they sprung it on them. So in that regard, if that is the case when it came to Street Fighter V, if it was from the get-go PC and PS4, then I can understand Crapgamer's gripe. I don't think the result, what he's doing is, and like I agree with, I think that he should just enjoy the game. We don't control any of these companies. But I understand where he's coming from in that respect.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so John, you were saying something, and I think I cut you off. Go ahead and make
No,
your
I think a lot of these games are coming to the PS4 and PC. I guess if you notice the trend, a lot of it, if it's exclusive, it's only unless it's made by Sony. A lot of them is coming to the PC too.
unless it's made by Nintendo or
Oh yeah, let's say say like that. But I think what happened with Microsoft, I think they saw the sales of that Tomb Raider and saw that it wasn't that great,
okay.
and it's like we gonna have to we need to generate some more money. So I think that might be why the move to where they changed the outcome of not making it just strictly exclusive. Because also I just read an article the other day talking about they about to bring the possibility of them bringing Halo back to the PC again too.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah, that's right. Wasn't the original Halo on PC?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I don't. But at the end of the day, I don't. To me, as long as you got access to play the game, doesn't really matter. Now, unless you just feel like if the Xbox One ain't selling, are you okay? Well, you look at the Wii U. That might be a fear. That Xbox can find themselves in a Wii U situation, which I don't think they will, strictly because third party hasn't totally just abandoned it. And because if that happened, then it ain't no Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have the IP and the capabilities, in my opinion, to do what Nintendo is doing with the Wii U in the situation that they're in. If you place Microsoft in that same scenario, I don't think they would have survived this long under the same conditions. So to me, long as you got the game there to play, like you said, just enjoy the game. Be mad, you can be upset, but you can even get at Phil Spencer about, hey, you said this is exclusive, that's messed up. But to go so far and say now I don't want to play the game, I don't get that. That part I don't get. It ain't never been a situation that made me not want to play a game unless the game was stripped from its original content or it wasn't matching what other folks was getting. If it was a situation like that, I can understand it. But if you get everything that's the PC is getting outside of scalability, I don't see what's the issue outside of, man, you should have told us this wasn't exclusive or this is coming to the PC from the gate, but I'm still going to play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, what y'all think about that?
I do agree with that. And I think what needs to also happen is to look at the other side of things. A lot of times we feel like the grass is greener on the other side. If your gripe is you're upset because a game that you thought was exclusive is no longer exclusive in a sense, that's better than actually buying the Wii U like I did in 2013, right before the drought of 2014, where the only game that I had was Mass Effect 2 in Nintendo Land, and Super Mario Brothers, when there was actually nothing to play, which defeats the purpose of a console when there's no games on it.
Right.
So your situation is not that you don't have games to play. You have a game to play, and it seems like this is going to be one of the better new IPs to come out this generation. So I'm not one to tell a person in that respect what they should do with their money. I usually give my opinions. I think that if a game is broken or incomplete, you should not buy it. But in a situation like this, we don't really know what the content is with the game. And I think that if you're going to hold the gripe, hold the gripe. But I don't know just going that far is really worth it, because all you're going to do ultimately is you're going to want to play the game, especially if it gets great reviews and it's actually a good game. You're missing out on a great exclusive to your console.
Right. You backing yourself into a corner that when you got a lit or you creating a bed that once you have to lay in it, you're gonna realize maybe this was a stupid this was stupid for me to even have made this bed. Like, there's a lot of things I see myself do as a Nintendo fan, taking stances where I didn't necessarily need to, where I was creating a bed that I might not want to have to lay in once it comes to that point. Like, some people not willing to buy anything outside of this particular company's piece of plastic. That's
Yeah.
a scenario for me that I killed a long time ago. Like, I want to play it all. I just have an affinity for Nintendo and what Nintendo makes. But as far as my gamerdom, I need to play it all. I need to have access to anything I want to play, whether it's on a Sony PlayStation or Xbox from Microsoft. I need access to play that. So I stopped making certain beds and taking certain stances because I was only hurting myself. I was only eliminating the experience I can have, or limiting the experience I can have for my own fandom. And it really didn't serve any purpose, but for hurting them, causing me to miss games that I probably would have enjoyed. So I had to cut that out. So anyway, but anything else we want to say on this? I see some other topics we can go to, but I don't want to keep us on too long. So
I mean, I don't have a problem if you guys don't got anywhere to go. I'm in the mode now, so it's all good.
well, I mean, John, you got anything else you want to, any other topics? I didn't write down anything else. This was pretty much the only one I wanted to deal on. But
Nah, yeah, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention lately.
okay, anything you got, Jedi?
Um, yeah, I guess we can kind of reiterate what's going on with the industry as a whole. They selling games that are basically betas, and
Yeah.
selling it, packaging it, and selling it for full price. I think that is something that if you're an Xbox One fan or PS4 fan, I mean, that's one thing I can say for once, that's not a Nintendo problem.
No.
If you're a PS4 or an Xbox One fan, I think that's something that you should be upset about.
But you should be grateful.
Don't bring up Hip Hop Gamer, man.
You should be grateful that the game is even being made.
I've already made my entitled video, given that I'm an entitled gamer.
Yeah, I watched that. That was a good video too, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. We touched on this. I guess for the next 10, 15 minutes, we'll touch on it, then we'll call it a night.
All right, cool.
But we touched on this on the last podcast, because of the hoopla that Street Fighter V created. And, to me, anyone who tries to justify Street Fighter V and the condition that it was released in is just asinine to me. I think it's totally ludicrous to think, like Hip Hop Gamer was saying, we should be, what you say, John? What did he say?
We should be grateful.
Grateful for what? See, and that's another level of, that's that level that I was trying to get to with Crapgamer. That's that level of fandom that to me starts teetering off into a little loony, a little questionable takes. Like John said, I won't put it in the verbiage he put it in. If you watched the last podcast, John went he went across the board and went on to share his true feelings verbally and all the way around. But what kind of sense does it make to tell the consumer? And I would say this: I bought Street Fighter V, so I know how I felt once I sat down, not realizing that there was all these features were missing. Capcom really didn't let anyone know just how sparse this game was going to be until it was pretty much the day before or the day of, that you bought it. So depending on where you was in transition to getting that game, you might have missed all these nuances about what was not there. So when I came home, I remember me and my boy D that I work with, we was trying to get on, but when we turned the game on, of course I always want to go to arcade mode, just fight through to the last boss and see how that transition. And when I saw no arcade, no this, no that, I'm like, where are all the features at? So that kind of threw me for a loop. And then to be told that we should be thankful for that,
I thought it was actually wild, even beyond Hip Hop Gamer's comment. I didn't watch his whole video, but I watched enough to know that I just kind of dismissed a lot of it. But for Street Fighter to be known for arcade mode, like ever since Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter has been known for arcade mode.
Right.
To take what you are most known for and not put it in the game is what really killed me. And in my videos, I didn't call that specifically, but just generally speaking, I just called it when I said this is why I don't buy games. I never pre-order. I that's just a personal thing. I do not relinquish money before I get a product. But even with day one, I don't buy games day one until I see a review, until I see what the actual game is about. The last game that I purchased on day one was Black Ops for the Wii, and I was actually in front of GameStop. It was a midnight release, and I was the only person online to get the Wii version, and it was all good. But that is the last time that I actually purchased a day one, and it's because you cannot put it past these developers and these companies to give you a shell of a game. And to be completely honest, it's the consumer's fault because these companies would not do this if it wasn't for people like us as gamers allowing it to happen.
Right.
You know, I can only control myself, but I think if enough people just added a little bit of patience to their consumerism and really see what they're getting for their money, then the industry would realize, like, yo, you know what? We can't put out incomplete games and expect these people to buy it and then try to fix it and pacify them down the line with DLC that they're gonna have to buy and patches and all that. We're gonna have to really put out complete games. And the funny thing about Hip Hop Gamer in his video is when he stated, well, talking about gaming history, you got to know your roots. I know my roots. I remember back when I was playing Prince of Persia on the Super Nintendo, Prince of Persia was complete. You know, you didn't give me the first half hour of the game, and I had to purchase the next hour and a half for a season pass for DLC. I didn't have to do that. When I got the game, I got the whole game.
Right. I agree. I mean, my thing is this. Only reason I can understand people going out and buying Street Fighters day one because you don't expect. Far as me, I'm not gonna front. I wasn't expecting Street Fighters, you know, something like Street Fighters, to be this bare bone and strip this like this. I didn't expect that. Now, when Killer Instinct done it, they announced from day one this is how it was coming. You know, this is the game that we're going to be doing. This is how we're going to issue it out. And you either at that time I didn't have the Xbox One, but had I had one, I wouldn't have bought Killer Instincts at that time. I would have waited until more of the game was either out or the whole.
With Killer Instinct, you got two options. You got either if you wanted the free version, you can only play with one character, but you still could do the story and all the other stuff.
Right.
What
I'm saying is, yeah, but I'm saying Street Fighters did, at least from my understanding, if y'all know this better than me, please bring me up to speed. I heard nothing, and I think another person said this. I can't think of who it was at this time, but a few people said this. I heard nothing about what was missing from Street Fighters 5 until the day. And I was like, well, maybe it ain't as bad as, you know, that it's been. You know, I watched one or two reviews at work right before I bought it, you know, and I had already paid for it the day before, you know, trying to get in on the midnight release of it. And I paid for it so that I can get it that night, which they end up not doing because not enough people reserved it. So I went in and bought the game, watched a few reviews, thinking maybe that's just them, maybe it ain't that bad. Not knowing that, then when I read that the art, I was like, oh man, okay. So when I got home, I was like, man, this was really bad. Like, this is bad, you know. So to the point that I would think twice about buying the Street Fighters game day one when I always bought Street Fighters as soon as I can get it. So That's crazy to me. So anyway, but whoever want to jump in again, you know.
Yeah, no, they didn't. They didn't say nothing about the game about the missing feature till like the day before. Like they came out in the I know no not the day, yeah, it was the day before. So I think some reviewers or something came out and said something.
Right.
Because I think they reviewers couldn't say nothing before because they was under embargo.
And see, that's dirty, man. That to me, that's foul practices. And for hip hop gamer, and this is something I go at him about all the time, is who are you speaking for? Are you speaking for the gamer? Are you speaking for these companies? If you speaking for these companies, then it ain't no point in listening to you.
Well, I mean, he's done really well for himself. You know, he seems like he's really taken a love that he has for video games, and he's gone into the journalism route. You know, I don't know him personally. I'm not sure if he's compromised given his relationships, but I didn't agree with it. I didn't personally know what was missing from Super Nintendo. I mean, from Super Nintendo, from Street Fighter until the game actually came out. My initial problem was, when I made my initial video on Street Fighter, was like a month and a half before the game was released, you heard speculation about DLC players, and then soon after, you had all of the DLC characters leaked. My problem with that was, how do you already have DLC characters prepared and the game is not even out yet? That
Right.
makes me feel like I'm not getting a complete game. The game is not out and you already have DLC set up, and that's what my initial situation was. When that game released and it did not have an arcade mode, that honestly shocked me. I wasn't even prepared for that one.
Yeah, that's what.
That
Right.
was crazy.
That was crazy. That's what. See, the DLC characters, I knew about that, but I also had read that you can win them through the traditional way, or you can buy them. So, if I'm not mistaken, that's the understanding that I gathered from the DLC character with Alex and Doug Dudley and a few other ones that they had, that you could pretty much tell who they were. But I was understanding of you can win them through just regular play. It might be you might have to do more than you traditionally had to do to get them, but you can get them through just straight playing the game.
Yeah.
But if you wanted them, just wanted them to have them, you can pay for them outright. Which I think those are foul practices as well. But like you said, no art. When I heard they didn't have no arcade mode, I was like, okay. Then this story. So then I was like, okay. Then maybe the storyline, and this is what I justified the purchase on. Well, maybe the storyline replaced the arcade mode. So I was like, okay, so I'm cool. It's a storyline there. So when I read that you only fight 4 times, and then I actually done it, like fought with Ryu, and you literally only fight 4 people, and the storyline is whack as now.
Are you serious? It's only 4 fights?
Each character fight. Some characters only fight 2 people, and their storyline is done.
Dude,
What,
that is financial rape right there. That is
and all
crazy.
this stuff was over there. What y'all got was a prologue.
I
That's
don't
not
know
the
what you
that's
got.
not the real story.
Okay.
It's not. This was supposed to be coming later in some updates or whatever.
All right,
That's
because I
not.
don't know. I haven't purchased the game or played it. I'm not buying that game.
Look, man. Like I said, I stand. I keep saying this, and like I said, I don't feel like I need to explain it no more. But the game ain't worth being purchased. What's there, you will enjoy it because you a Street Fighter. If you're a Street Fighters guy, if you like Street Fighters, when you turn it on, what you can play is fun. But like you said, you can't give them more. You can't justify no arcade mode. You can't justify this. I don't even know what the prologue or this shallow taped together storyline that they put. You can't justify that, man. Even though I'm enjoying playing the game, so it ain't worth $60. It ain't even worth $30. It ain't worth $15. You get more. That's games that you can buy and download for $15. That's better than this. And that's honest talk. That's honest talk right there. So
And like Killer Instinct still didn't cost $60.
right, it'll cost what I bought that for 19 and got more content out of it than this.
Yeah, I think that if gamers want to really get upset about something, that should be something to be upset about. You know, I've spoke about it even outside of Street Fighter. That's just the latest situation.
Right.
It's to the point now where developers are not even making games anymore. They're just making stages. They make a character, and then the game is practically online. The problem with that is 10 years from now, you're not going to have retro games because the game was basically an online game. So once the servers go down, you don't have a game anymore.
Right.
And, you know, this is why you want a campaign mode. This is why you want an offline mode. So once they stop supporting the game online, you still have a game. You still have a level of value there.
Right.
And
that's kind of what John spoke to on the last podcast was how the more we go to online only, the more control we're giving up because once they cut those online services, you just got a disc there that ain't playable. You can't do
yet
nothing
you're
with
paying
it.
more and more for these games. You're getting less and less, but you're paying more and more in DLC, microtransactions, the initial cost to get a bare bones game. It's getting critical out there.
Right.
Yeah, like I ain't gonna say my first instinct. I've been peeping the game for a while now. I've been trying to tell people about it, but nobody listens to me. And then like Destiny, that game just pissed me all the way off. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like when I played that, I beat the story. I'm like, the story wasn't even finished. I'm sitting there like, this is like a beginning and part of a middle. You know what I'm saying? And the story wasn't even finished. I'm sitting there like, are you serious? And so, but then now everybody's just like, oh yeah, see if you would just waited and all the updates that they came out with and others, and if you buy the new, I was like, why? So I got to buy some more stuff just to finish what I already bought.
You have to buy $30 more worth of stuff to make your initial $60 purchase relevant. That's crazy.
So it's like, this is retarded.
But they conditioning the modern gamer and I want to say D2K and no, John, you brought this up. You said this. That this current generation of gamers only know this. So to them, was it you, John, or was it DJ?
Yeah, it was me. It was both of us.
Yeah, it was
both kind of hit on this. The fact that they are conditioned to accept these conditions. This is normal to them to buy games that are not done, buy games that are half complete, buy games that the minute the company or the developers want to kill support, you end up having nothing but a disc with some graphics on it that you can't use. Like right now, I think Titanfall ain't that only online?
Yep.
Yeah, it's no story mode.
So when they cut service for Titanfall, probably another year, when Titanfall loses service. What uses that game?
I think you can still play bots on offline though, but that's you play against AI controlled bots, but other than that, that's basically it. There's nothing you can do with it.
Right, and they making money. They getting paid buku dollars off of games that you only can enjoy as long as the servers are up. Okay, and like I said, this ain't a us versus them thing. I'm just using this. And going back to what Jedi Knight was talking about in that quality video, like right now, whether I'm talking about the Wii, the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 1, the GameCube, the N64, I could pop in a game that I've had for 20, 30 years, as long as it works, I can play it, and I can enjoy it. No online, no nothing. I'm still reaping the benefits of what I purchased 10, 15 years ago. Whereas a game that you might have purchased 3 years ago, you might not be able to enjoy much longer. And
that's not even that. Not even that. You can purchase a game. If you're not connected online, you might not be able to play your game. Period.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you might not even be able to update it.
Setup so it's almost like you might as well not buy physical anything because once they cut the online portion of it, which is majority of the game, you ain't got nothing but a box taking up space on your shelf.
And I'm glad you said that, because this is what I've been trying to tell people. They like everybody fought the digital stuff. I said, but they're gonna slowly trick you into doing it anyway, and that's what they're doing right now. They're slowly tricking you into going, because just like you said, what's the point in me buying the physical disc? I gotta install it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Install it, and it ain't gonna be worth nothing once they cut the service.
And that's what they're doing. They sitting there. They tricked it, since you didn't want to accept it in the first place. They're tricking you into it. You know what I'm saying?
I think what you're saying, John, is excellent, because that can actually be tied to what our speculation is with Microsoft. If Microsoft can go in and establish like that Steam-like platform, then that's another avenue where it's going to be mostly digital. So now they're not going to have to spend money on Blu-ray disc and manufacturing and shipping and all that. This is where the industry is going for the most part.
Right. And I mean, all of them are doing it. I mean, you know where I started raising my eyebrow, like, okay, maybe this digital thing, we're going to have to really look at it. So when I really started like, okay, we're going to really have to look at this. When Nintendo really took a hold of it and started running with it. Like, I'm not lying. Nintendo went digital crazy when, Nintendo is apprehensive about modern takes on the way to approach it. But once they started doing it and started getting reaping the benefits of it, Nintendo really went ham with the digital stuff. Like,
I don't have a problem with digital, but they're not. See, this is the thing though. And this is I've always said, like, unless they get Steam, then we're not going to get Steam prices. And also, I don't believe that Steam, I think if PC gaming becomes more popular and keeps continuing to be more popular, we're not going to get those sales that we have on Steam like we do now.
Steam is a product of the parseness of that particular community. So it got to have some incentive to get you to come. But once it grows, it ain't no way it's gonna say that.
And then that's my problem with digital is, like, if you look at all the digital games now, we're not receiving no discount for going digital. We're still paying $60 for a digital game.
Right.
And it's like,
you ain't got no disc, you ain't got no plastic.
It's like,
you got some code, and they charge you like you got a disc and plastic.
So the only person that's benefiting off of that is them. And it's like, that's not okay to me. You know what I'm saying? That's, I feel like that's my hindrance to going to digital. If you would actually extend some savings, like maybe I would rather pay $40 for a digital game. I'll be okay with that.
I mean, what you removing the middleman? So you cutting so much red tape. This is all, and that's why I said I started watching Nintendo with it. You cutting so much red tape out the way. You making pure profit. It's your store. So you ain't got to pay nobody to have it there. It's pure digital content, so you ain't got to make no plastic. You ain't got to seal it. You ain't got to test disc. You want to cut all that money out the way. That's straight. You just make them straight up profit. And so you selling Xenoblade on the digital what is that? In the Nintendo shop, whatever it is. Is it an eShop? I don't know what it's called, but I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, you buy that game there for the same price as anybody going to the store. Nintendo probably made like 90% profit versus maybe 70 or 60. I mean,
yeah, maybe even less than that.
Right. So they almost triple what they would typically play if you bought it from GameStop or bought it from Walmart or Best Buy. And it's still the same price. So you're right, John. They're not doing us any favor. And I'm not saying just Nintendo. You see this with Sony. You see this with Microsoft as well. So, it should be some difference in cost, and you don't see that as well.
They don't have to pay retailers nothing. They don't have to pay Walmart. They don't have to pay Best Buy. They don't have to do none of that.
Yeah, because they got to play for that shelf space, right? That's why Nintendo has shrunk in all these stores. Because they're not getting the shelf space that that the other guys are getting.
I do believe that a lot of these companies are starting to see that you really don't need the shelf space to, you know, to access your consumer base. The problem is not just with digital. I don't really have a problem with digital. My problem is what comes with digital. When you purchased the game, the physical game, you owned the game. They couldn't tell you that you didn't own the game. You physically have that copy. That is yours.
Mm.
Now with the digital, when you start reading these end user agreements, you don't own these games. You are leasing these games. And for legal purposes, that's a big deal. If this really starts to go heavy into the digital aspect of things, like say if the next generation of consoles are strictly digital, then you're going to start seeing a lot of, this is my opinion here, you're going to start seeing a lot of these YouTubers that do like Let's Plays. They're going to be impacted by that because of the agreements that are coming with these games, because you don't own these games anymore, you're leasing them. And if they ever decide to act on that, that's really going to impact the consumer.
Right.
So it's something to be aware about.
Yeah, you can see that going a step farther now that you bring it up, because I didn't think about this. Let's say we do it eventually, which probably will happen. We go, because it ain't just games, man. Everything is going this way. Like cable companies are being affected by this, streaming and Netflix and now apps. You can get apps. My boy showed me something. K-Bone showed me something, and he computer. He do programs and make software and all that stuff. So he like you, Jedi. He has the same background, degree. But he showed me something at his crib with Kindle Fire and an app that it shall remain nameless here that he showed me to that you could basically. It was retarded, like what you could do with it, and it was legit. It wasn't nothing illegal. It was a real. I'm like, why am I paying for cable? You know what I'm saying? So it's like the stuff that the technology that is there now is squeezing everything. So when they do go digital, I can see them doing something like this, man, making like, okay, you pay for a game, well, we want you to pay monthly now for that to play that. What you gonna do? How you gonna stop that?
Or it's going to be a situation where you're going to be online only. The reason why I can deal with Steam is because I can download a game and then play it offline if I want.
Right.
But if it was a situation where you had to stay online to play these games, I wouldn't have had Steam and I wouldn't have built this PC either.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I think they're gonna go. Everything gonna be behind, like what with especially when you look at the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, you gotta have that online. Now and live and to play these games. And if you ain't keeping up with that subscription, you ain't got no games. So I can see that happening as well. Like everything is behind a paywall.
I just did a trial for that title service, right? Jay-Z's little title thing, because it was what was it? It was something. Oh yeah, it was that Money and Violence, because I wanted to see the next episode faster.
Yeah, I just wait till it upload on YouTube, man.
But I got so into it. I was like, yeah, I got to see. And then somebody told me that the episode 3 was out. I was like, oh, hold on. I said, where episode 3 at? So they was like, oh, it's on title. So I was looking at it, and I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. So I was like, you know what? Oh, it's a trial. Let me see if I can do the trial and then still watch it. So I was like, if I can do a trial and I get 30 days, I was like, yeah, that's 4 weeks of 4 weeks of episodes I get to see. I was like, hey, so I was like, okay, I'll do the trial. So I'm sitting there doing the trial. The service is cool. I admit it's pretty cool. But I was listening to some music, some Bjork, or York, however you say her name, and I wanted to download it, right? I'm looking, it's no download. I'm like, hold on, I can't download this. I said, I can only listen to this online and through this app. I said, this is retarded.
Yep, because you don't own it. It's crazy.
Ain't that how Spotify is? Oh no, you could download for Spotify, right?
I don't know. I never used any of those services.
I
just listened to the free. I listened to the free music. Well, this one title didn't even have a free music part. I didn't see it. I couldn't find it.
I think with like Spotify and I'm not for sure. In the comment section, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's all streaming.
Yeah, stuff like Spotify, you can stream the service, but you can only hear it if you're logged into their Spotify service.
Right.
It's not
Is it
necessarily
Spotify or
for
Spotify?
download.
So it's Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay, I was saying it wrong. All right.
Oh, no, no,
Yeah.
no. I don't know if you were saying it right or wrong. I
Oh,
may be saying it wrong. I thought you was talking about the content, how it's streamed to you.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm like, well, what? I was like, I'm still trying to figure out what am I paying for? Like, cause like for like stuff like I guess I was only paying for the option to pick my song as I wanted to pick it.
yeah, you have the option. You paying for the freedom to jump between, and it's all hosting it, I guess, in the cloud for you. But as far as just downloading it to your phone and offline playing it, because it's some other music that I bought. Unless I don't know, I haven't figured out how to do it. Like it's some stuff I bought off of Google Play that's on my phone, but if I ain't online, I can't listen to it.
I know if you bought it, I know how to do. I just figured that I had to figure it out again and tell you, but yeah, I just figured that out how to actually download it.
Okay, because
Cause I was pissed off about that too. Cause I was like, I said I ain't buy this to only be able to use it online.
right, but that's the trickery. They don't really go through to explain to. Okay, if I bought it, why not just automatically download it to my phone and
Yeah.
why you making me have to turn on your app, have my online on to utilize songs that I paid $10 for? It's like y'all saying, it's crap, man. It's a bunch of.
And you should have seen me. I was on fire with that one. I was like,
But
You
that's
was
what
hot.
yeah, I was on fire, man. I was pissed.
I figured. Now that I'm getting older, we all, I don't know how long we're gonna really be in it. I think we gamers for life, to be honest with you. But what we used to and what I see my son and then my daughters coming behind him, I don't even know what the spectrum of gaming gonna look like and how they gonna have to, what the crap they gonna have to deal with it, because we ain't helping it. We not causing it. We think we did a whole lot because we made Microsoft pivot from the whole always online. But look at the situation. We still always online. You-
We about to. Oh, here's how the future gonna be. You gonna have to buy a $400 console. Then on top of that $400 console, you're gonna have to buy $600 eye goggles. And on top of that $600 eye goggles, you're gonna have to buy these little finger attachments to the tactile functions. And you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna have to pay for $100 software.
You talking about the virtual
Yeah, they about to get us.
Anyway. But anyways, anybody got any final thoughts on this, man, before we get out of here?
Yeah, real quick. I do think the industry is in trouble. There's a lot of things that I see today that gives me the indication that we're going in the wrong direction.
Oh.
Just the way games are being packaged and distributed specifically, but also the quality of games. I can put on Chrono Trigger right now, and Chrono Trigger would wreck most of these games. That's my comment.
Right. And the thing is, you saw this happen when Western market took over.
Yeah.
Did y'all? I mean, that's when I seen the pivot when the Western developers gained prominence over the Eastern developer, over Japan. When that took over, that's when the gaming market changed, and then we get into what stuff we get now. And I don't know if I'm wrong for saying that.
I think you got a point.
I don't know, cause
I don't remember none of these practices with East Coast developers, man. Like,
well, that was back in those practices weren't done back in the day anyway. But it's just like, but if you look at it now, like their whole atmosphere is on the go gaming.
Yeah, but
everything is digital anyway.
Yeah, but them games you don't have to be online to play them though.
Well, we don't know, but also their infrastructure is different too, though.
Yeah, okay. I guess we had to table that topic for another one, man. Bring that up and continue it, because we can exhaust that for a whole another 45, 50 minutes. So, but anyway, man, Jedi, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Go try
Most
to
definitely
work out some since your schedule on the weekends is a little bit different than ours, uh, behind the scenes we're gonna work out something that's more convenient for all of us. And because Sunday is hard for me. I'm just as y'all seeing. So, but with that being said, man, go ahead and share your last thoughts, and then we turn to John. And I really enjoyed you, man. Looking forward to building even more and have you on even more regular. That was my whole aim at getting you on to make this a regular thing, not just every now and then. I mean, every blue moon. I really want you on regular. So if you down for that, but go ahead and share your last thoughts. Then we're gonna jump to John Shaw. Then we're gonna get out of here.
All right, my last thoughts real quick. This should be the first of many. I really dig you guys. You got a solid crew around, people who are really interested in gaming and not bickering and really sharing one another's thoughts and hearing one another most of all. So yeah, we'll talk behind the scenes this week, but I definitely intend on meeting with you guys next week Sunday.
Okay, cool. Shaw?
Thanks, guys, for stopping by. Thanks, Jedi Knight, for stopping by and being on the podcast. Thank you, Levin, for waking me up. Because you probably had the call, I probably would have been gone.
Yeah,
I was on my way out.
Well, man, this is your boy Levelhead, man. I enjoyed, both these guys and looking forward to doing even more with you, Jedi. And so that means we got two candidates, two new guys that's going to be entertaining you guys with us, saying that was perfect timing. But I think, with Jedi Knight and with D2K, I think we might need to find one more person. I think that need to be a female. So looking for that as well. And I want a new face. I want somebody that ain't familiar. So I'm gonna get on the prowl for that. It changed his whole game, man. It changed his whole atmosphere around what we doing. So anyway, I want intellectual, smart, mature thinking. Not to say that other people don't, but I'm just saying that's what I'm looking for this podcast and what we do over here. But with that being said, till next time, folks, deuces.
Laters.
Peace.